Good morning, everyone. Oh, a little bit. That should be better now. Hopefully everything is good. Should work now. There we go. So hope everyone is well. Little update to last time. We lost some footage on the camera. I did a firmware update. I hope it solves it. If it doesn't solve it, I'm buying another SD card. And if that doesn't solve it, I don't know what else to do. This is an expensive SD card. Is it in there? It is not. So this is the old style SD cards I was using, UHS 1, but now I have a UHS 2 SD card. Big difference is the extra contacts. So it's supposed to be a lot faster. There's one, there's two. This was actually very expensive, 256 gigs, UHS 2. You can see a little 2 there. So if I have to buy another one, I won't be happy, but it is what it is. And I don't know if it's the camera that's like just stopping the recording or there's an SD card issue. I don't know. No idea. But all I know is I paid a shit ton of money for this camera. So I hope that's not an issue going forward. Is the camera on? Now it's on. Now it's off. Just going to put a fresh battery in there too. Into the charger you go. All right. So the deal today is we are working on this again. We're going to clean it up, and then I'm going to show people how I test for what resistance I use. So essentially, I'm going to be using this resistor board, and I'm going to test, 1K, 5K, 10K, regular standard values. Check the output on the LEDs. Some of these LEDs are still crooked. That's okay. And then essentially that's what will decide what resistors go on here, and then yeah, we'll be good to go like that. Let me have some coffee for my voice here. It's hard in the mornings, first thing in the mornings. I don't get a good chance to exercise my voice, so it takes a little bit before my voice comes in. Oh, and I've got a podcast today with a guest, so I have to be done by 11, so that's in 3 hours. So I have time to eat lunch, take a walk with my wife if she wants to go. Usually she does, and then get ready for the podcast. Again, not releasing who the guest is because I don't do that. We don't do that here. So yeah, essentially, we're going to have, for the positive edge, which is this one, we're going to put a jumper lead into here and a jumper lead into the ground. So we're going to feed 3.3 volt into one side, like into the positive lead, and then out onto this board. Or maybe we'll just use this board on the positive side, whatever it may be. just to test which one we're going to be using. And then same thing with the negative, we're just going to switch the lead onto the VCC side, and then that'll be that. You do have to do this every time, unless you wrote down your favorite values, because different color LEDs will have different forward voltages, and so they'll have different brightnesses. I usually go until it's like approximately the same brightness. It doesn't have to be exactly. This is how it goes, right? There we go. Got to remind myself to do the mic. So first, let's set up our setup here. So I do need a longer male to female. Let's see if I can find one of those. Like as usual, I'm gonna demo it for you guys here. Do the run through, and then we're gonna do it for real. Breadboarding. I mean, preferably also it would be in a reasonable color. So like this green, this should work. So basically, power will come in on the supply. You guys could probably get a zoom on the supply to here, and then this will go to here, and then the ground will go off to my power supply. And then I need a male to female. Blue, sure. Okay, so here's the idea. Grab a crock clip. So we're going to go positive on my power supply to the board, like so. And then, so positive supply comes in, goes through here, which I'm gonna, let's say, I'm gonna try a 1K resistor. So put that to 1K, and then to where the pin of the micro would be, and then this would hook up to ground, and now I need another crock clip in order to get my negative. I don't have any crock clips. Well, I'm gonna go heavy duty with the crock clips. My supply is set to 3.3 volts. Essentially because I mostly do pi pico stuff these days. And so 3.3 volts makes a lot of sense for that. But just, if you do 5 volt stuff, just set it to 5 volts. If you do, 1.5 volt stuff, just set it to that. The silicone won't stick. So we can use sort of like this, much heavier base. Stick, damn you. All right, so if we turn this on, so right now we have 3.3 volts. Why isn't my LED lighting? Oh, because we're in the ground when we shouldn't be in the ground. We should be in the resistor. There we go. So that's what 1K looks like. Oh, you guys can't see. Let me just move this closer, angle this up a bit. So there we go. So I find that a bit bright. So let's go down to 5K, which 4.7 is close enough. That's good for me. Low current. It barely turns on. So 5K. If people want to put their stuff brighter, they can go brighter. I like it pretty dim. And then all you do is you flip the polarity of your leads like so, and then you touch this pad. So that gives me red, and my red feels way too dim. So I'm going to try 1K. That's better. So, oh, hello there, Verawak. So essentially, I'm going to go 1K on red, which is this row, and I'll go 5K on green, which is this row. But we're not going to do this right now. We're going to do this on camera. So I need to reflip my leads. And you know what? Instead of using a croc clip, I'm going to use, I'll use both. I literally made croc clip leads just for this. So I'm going to use my proper leads with these guys. 5mm bananas. I made these 5mm bananas a while ago for the Unity power supply that I got from Unity, and now I'm using it. This goes like so. There we go. Okay, so that kind of ran through. We're going to do it on camera. You guys will probably not see too well, but that's okay. We're going to get the footage once it's done. Also, with the firmware update on the camera, I'm not sure if my settings are still intact. We're going to have to find out. Also, I'd like to position this so it's sitting in a little bit more logical position. So I can have the resistor board go horizontal. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. So first time recording this morning, so it could go poorly, but this is what we're here for. I'm going to give it a shot. See if I can get these clips in frame. This is going to record in 4K. You know what? I'm going to check that I'm still recording in 4K. Yeah, 4K. Good. Never know. If you do a firmware update, you never know if it's going to ruin all your settings. That, focus down on that. Once you've got everything soldered, it's now time to determine the resistor values. I typically go for a very high resistor value. I don't want to drive the pins of my microcontroller too hard, but I'll show you how I do it. I mean, you can just do it mathematically. I like to do it and judge based on brightness. So first and foremost, I've got my power supply here, 3.3 volts. That's because I mostly work on, well, that was a mistake. We don't have the mics. Franco's not here to tell me about the microphones. We need to put the mic on first. And the worst part about that is the little pigtail that I plug my microphone in. It's always plugged into the camera, so if you don't have anything plugged in on the other end, the camera just assumes there's no audio. Didn't do a mic check, nope. I need to do a mic check 1, 2. Oh, my live streaming mic has fallen sideways. Oh, I almost dropped the little magnet that goes under your shirt. Uh-oh. Okay. Gently maneuvering it into position. Sorry, I'm gonna mess with the live stream mic. There we go, double mic'd. Okay, let's try that again. I've got all the LEDs soldered. They're not all sitting perfectly, but it's good enough for now. Right now, I want to determine what resistor value I'm going to be using to drive them. So here's how I do it. You can do it multiple ways. You can do it mathematically, but I tend to do it based on the brightness. I want them to be quite dim and use as little current as possible, because some microcontrollers, you can't drive that much current from their pins. And I want this to be a universal tool. So I've got on my power supply here 3.3 volts. That's because I mostly work in Pi Picos these days, but if you work in Arduino, you can use 5 volts. And I've got this multiple resistor board here. So essentially you move these jumpers to set the resistance you like. I typically start around 1K, so I'm going to set this at 1K because less than that is too much current in my opinion. So I start at 1K. And I also bought very standardized resistors. So I've got 1K, 4.7K, 10K, 47K, etc., etc. So I'm probably going to be 1K and 5K-ish, but we're going to see. So first things first, I take the positive lead is connected to one side of my board. The other side of my board, I'll just put it in where the pin would go right here. Power supply is on. Then I take the negative. Don't forget we're on 1K. And if we're checking the positive lead, then we're just going to touch this pad right. Oh. And since we are testing the positive LED, so this one here, when you get a high, you're just going to touch the pad right here. So that green LED lights up. But to my eye, that's quite bright. I think it's brighter than I need it to be. So I'm going to move up to the next resistance that I have, which is 5K, which that should be that, yep. And I'm going to test it here. That's quite a bit dimmer, but still quite bright. So I think that's perfectly fine for me. And so 5K is what I'm going to use on sort of this row of resistors, which corresponds to this row of LEDs. Now, to switch it up and try the negative side, all you have to do is disconnect your leads, and then you're going to go and put your positive on the other side and your negative on the other side. Okay, and then you're going to test the red LED, in this case, right here. And you see the red LED comes on, but it's not very bright. So the red LED, I think 5K is way too much resistance for it. So I'm going to try a 1K here. Oh, there we go. That's much brighter. So this row of resistors will be 1K, and this row of resistors will be 4.7K. And for you, you can do it, up to the 20 milliamps tolerance of these LEDs. I think you use a lot of current for not much more brightness. So let me get set up to solder these. Morning, Gerald. Sorry, I was doing the piece to camera there. How are you? I did a software update on the camera, by the way, yesterday, so hopefully it doesn't fail us on recording. If it does, then I'm going to try another SD card, because I've already tried, there's 2 SD card slots in the camera. Already tried the second slot. It seems to have decreased the amount of occurrences, but not removed. So after that, I'm going to try a different SD card. We're going to have to buy another like $80 SD card, sadly. All right, so let's put this away, turn off the system, get my resistor board back. So also, today's stream is ending slightly early. You just woke up so fuzzy, yeah. That time before consciousness hits. The stream will end at 11 today because I need to have lunch with a blonde bombshell and then go for a walk with her if she wants to. And then I have a podcast recording, so need to fit all that in at the same time. All right, let's grab my, so on the outside here, I said 4.7K, it's these, need 15. Waiting for your kettle to boil. Man, I would say this is a coffee stream, but it's definitely a tea stream. There's much more tea drinkers than coffee drinkers here. My tweezers are sticky. See if I can get my Windex without hurting my back, because I'm getting old. The weather has been nicer here recently. It used to be so incredibly hot, but now it's like yesterday was in, like, it was 20 degrees, maybe 24. Very acceptable. Today is going to be 27. Going to be a little bit hotter. All right, so let's separate the pepper from the fly poop. Still kind of sticky. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. This one has something weird going on with it. Supposed to have wind. Interesting. Oh, the something weird is the piece of plastic from the container it was sitting in. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10. Tornado warnings. Uh-oh. 11. 12. 13, 14, and 15. Let's turn on the old soldering iron. tornado warning is not a good thing. Usually it hits right outside of Ottawa, like, I mean, for lack of a better word, typically hits in the greater Ottawa area and not Ottawa itself. But it has happened that a tornado one year went right down the Ottawa River, which is kind of scary. I'll be at work tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow, the mechanics job, I will be at the headquarters of our big clients, essentially our biggest client. I'll be at their headquarters. I guess I could say our only client these days. We don't really take many other clients. Okay, so let's do, I still have the mics on. Wait, 4.7K, yeah, outside. That's right. Got all my 4.7K resistors here, and as usual, I will do one and then do the rest. So it's for the green LEDs, so in the outside, so that means it's the outside column. So all I do is pre-tin one pad and then grab a resistor. Now it's easier because these resistors are not polarized, and in fact you can solder them upside down if you'd like. Also, these are 0805, so they're quite a bit larger. You can fit 0603 resistors on those pads, except that I bought a lot of 0805, so that's why I'm using 0805. And there we go, and we can go back and straighten it up. That's done. Do the rest, bring you back for the 1Ks. I love soldering. By the way, I've not bothered, this whole board, I've not bothered with the magnification. So I'm doing this naked eye. Not only naked eye, but I'm like not right up on it. I'm a little distance away. Now I'm not saying I can see in full resolution. It is very tiny. Closer to Muskoka. Okay. Muskoka is a bit of a distance from here. Old Dougie has his cottage in Muskoka, as do all affluent Ontarians, it seems. I think the only people that have cottages in Muskoka that aren't rich are people who bought in like the 60s or 70s. But they're being priced out because of the property taxes, I'm sure. I mean, I just hope if there is a tornado, it's somewhere in the bush where nobody lives. That's pretty horrible. We're all of us responsible for climate change, but not all of us have to bear the brunt of the weather events caused by it. So that's pretty crappy. There we go. One of the servo tester boards from PCB. Wait, nice. Like my servo tester? I like those things. I do love that PCBWay gives me the opportunity. So, okay, I'm going to use big air quotes here. Forces me to think of these projects because I really like doing them. It's a bit stressful to do them on a deadline, but in the end, it's pretty cool. On Blue Sky, oh damn, you know what? I need to check Blue Sky more often. It is my preferred like social media where I would interact with people, but I don't check it. Maybe there's a way to get notifications from it. I don't know. I will definitely check it. Okay, so we've got one that is a little tombstoned. I don't know if the cap has fallen off of it though. You can see that one there. Yeah, I mean, Twitter is just all bots now. It was like a large chunk bots before. Now it's all bots. All right, that's good. Let's bring out the 1Ks. By the way, viewership was surprisingly good on the last live stream. People watched. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Let me actually, oh, my phone is charging. I'm just going to check Blue Sky real quick before I forget, because today I'm going to be quite busy. Oh, it seems like I have to pick up parts on my way to work tomorrow. Gee, I wonder what we're doing. Jesus. We're doing a whole lot of work on a single car, it seems. Oh yeah, blue sky. Jeez, I got distracted. Yeah, so today's a busy day, so don't want to be too distracted. Hey, that's freaking sweet. It looks awesome. Love. Repost. Looks amazing. Please share your new modes. There we go. You've got one servo going like stink. It's helicoptering. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nine, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, but it's not just continuous, it's fast as hell. 13, 14, 15. It's like a high speed, it's a high performance servo. All right. Got my 1K ohm resistors all lined up. Probably the worst thing you can do on this is essentially get the wrong resistor in, and you have to desolder, but I'd recommend picking up 10 boards because it's the same price as 5 boards, and if you make a mistake, just scrap it, try another one. Again, a little bit of a tack there. Grab your resistor. They do work upside down, but I prefer them right side up so you can read the markings and you can do troubleshooting. Like that, and you flip it around and solder the other pad. You need very little solder for these little components. There we go. I'll do the rest. How's it going, Libby? I think the best thing to do is jump into it. Get yourself some parts and learn as you go. If you buy like a starter kit, like Elegoo has one and a whole bunch of companies have one, you can follow their lesson plan. They have like a basic guide, but to me, nothing works better than doing. So you just gotta get started. Welcome to the channel, by the way. None of my electronics knowledge is formal. It's all self-taught. I've a tiny little bit from being a mechanic. You had to learn these things, but it wasn't in depth enough for me. So I took it upon myself to learn. Get yourself a breadboard, some resistors through hole, some LEDs, and start experimenting. A multimeter. My how to use a multimeter guide is pretty good, but there's a couple out there if you don't like mine. I would say start in the domain that interests you the most. If you like microcontrollers, buy yourself a nice cheap clone Arduino. And don't buy one, buy two. So then if it blows up, you're not like stuck doing nothing. Follow tutorials. Be careful. Some people say like to base yourself on projects. So pick a project and do it. The problem is, as a beginner, it's very easy to pick a project that is way too complicated. And if you get lost, it's easy to use like ChatGPT to bail you out, but I think until you've got the very, very basics down, it might be difficult because it's more like GPT will be doing your work for you. But don't forget, GPT is a great learning tool. You can ask it to explain to you the basics of electronics. Like just say you have zero experience but want to learn electronics, what's the first thing you should learn? And then it'll spit out some stuff. And then whatever it spits out, you say, okay, this concept, can you explain it to me? Or the pro move is you take that concept, type it into Wikipedia, change the language to English simple. There's like a simplified English, like just basically common language English version of articles for all sorts of scientific stuff. And that'll get you a good start. Otherwise, you know, we're on YouTube. Tons of beginner tutorials getting started in electronics. One thing that's fun and can be made with basic parts is a Joule thief, Joule thief. And if you look, Julian Eilert, Big Clive, and even me, we all have videos on it. So you can go give that a shot. Yeah, I think so. There used to be. I hope it's still there. It just basically uses common words. It's just simplified topics. Wikipedia is a fantastic resource. Oh, there we go. So that is done. Let's do some testing to ensure everything works. And then we'll do testing on camera as well. This, and I need one more lead. Yeah, Wikipedia is phenomenal. It's weird. So I teach trades, right? So like, I wouldn't say the trades are basic things, but I'm often teaching them the basics of trades. And when I say, you know, a concept like, I don't know, scavenging, like engine scavenging, and I'm like, for known concepts like that, I always tell them, like, just go to Wikipedia. And then my students say things like, well, Wikipedia is not a good source. And I'm like, yes, it is. It's a terrific source for learning things that are like established concepts that don't change. It's just not a source you can cite for like a research paper. It's because it's a secondary source. Self-taught software dev, 2 ESPs, Arduino Uno a while back, been doing electronics course, scavenging and parts. There we go. See, I'm the opposite. I can't code to save my life. All right, let's see if all of these work. I'm going to shield from the light. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, got a problem here. Okay, I'm going to stuff this into VCC. Nope, stuff this into VCC. So I got one not working. Red, 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 red. Red, 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 red. Red, red, red. So just one green is not working. You wish you knew what I knew. I mean, I don't know what I have special. So this one, we have a probably bad solder joint. I don't want to modify it. I want to check it on camera. So let's check. Anyways, let's do piece to camera. Once everything is soldered, it's a good idea to go over it and test to make sure everything is working. So what I do is I have my power supply, again on 3.3 volts. I will plug one of the ends onto the ground on the board. I plugged it in from the back just so it doesn't fall out. And then I will sweep over all of the terminals here. So that all works. Oh, looks like we have one duff one. So this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 one from the top. Just looking at it from a distance here, it looks like the resistor may not be properly soldered. We'll rework that in a second. So I'll take the ground out, plug the positive to the VCC pin, like so. And then do the same test and check the red ones. So you see the red LEDs they're facing each other there, but they still work. Everything works. So I'm going to take a look at the resistor here. Maybe just touch it up with a bit of solder. Maybe it'll just start working. There we go. Okay, so let's check here. I feel like my resistor is tombstoned quite a bit, or is up high quite a bit. You see that? It's not sitting flush. I really should switch to the macro lens, but I don't want to. So let's see how close I can get. I can't get very close. I need to switch to the macro lens. Dang nammit. I hate switching lenses. I would rather switch cameras than switch lenses. But I'm not I don't make that kind of money as a YouTuber yet. Probably never. Also. I forgot which one was DAF. How old are you, Libby, if you don't mind me asking? Put this in ground. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Number 6. That's this one here. Yeah, I think it's a little screwy. Yeah, the new look is a little bit different, for sure. So let's just try to rework this and see if we can get it to work. Now, I did see that the resistor is sitting a little bit up on the board. I don't know if it focuses well enough for you to see that. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's heat that up like this. Get it quite hot. Move it around. Heat it up. Oh, was I on the wrong one? Possibly. But we do know that it has to do with the outside one because it is the positive edge LED. And of course, I've got my power supply here ready to go. So we're going to plug this to ground. And then number 6. Looks like they all work now. Let me hold this in a way where you can see it. So we essentially achieved what Dave Jones always wished for us, to build a project and have it not work. So you did find the simplified page then? Maybe I should do a quick video explaining that, because maybe I'll find it on the actual edition. Now at this point, this board is perfectly imperfect. It'll work just fine, so we can go ahead and solder pin headers. But if you're one of those completionist types, what you can do is you can take a little bit of flux, and I have just some cheap stuff from AliExpress here, and I'll just grab it with a little brush, and you can brush flux over it, and then reflow it with either a hot plate or a hot air gun. And you will probably level off all your components and deal with all your cold solder joints. So if you are soldering by hand and cannot get all the components to light up, to work properly, this is another step you can take. Just put a bit of flux, hit it with a heat gun or a hot plate, and just watch them melt into place. So we're going to do that here, just for posterity's sake. Now, I've got this on a heat-resistant surface, and you should as well. And make sure that you don't blow the parts away. So, low airflow. I've got it on 2 here. I got it quite hot because I want to get in and get out. My objective is just to see if my LEDs will sit a little bit flatter, for those of you who prefer a better, more aligned display. So those LEDs are not flattening out, but you can go and just nudge them. Be extremely gentle. It's easy to have them ping off into nowhere land. I think that's good. And now, the most important part is to be very patient and wait for this to cool off before toweling off all the flux. Did that record? That better have recorded. You bastards. It's 8 minutes and 55. No, 3 minutes and 29. Yes, I got it all. Whew. I was going to flip my shit. So there, that's what it looks like at the moment. Looks pretty good. Couple crooked components. Just want to make sure all the solder is hard. It is. Oh no, I got flux on my camera. Looks like I flucked up. All right, here we go. Once it's cool enough, you can pour a little bit of alcohol and use a little toothbrush. But because I don't feel like going upstairs and getting a toothbrush and alcohol, I'm using a little bit of window cleaner and a little drill brush, but I'm not using it on a drill. And I'll just clean this all off. And it won't be perfect, but I can promise you it'll be much nicer than what it was before with all the flux, and also the LEDs will be much straighter. Not all of them straight, but much straighter. And there we go. And now, because we have trust issues, you and I'm going to prove to you that it works, or be embarrassed and that it doesn't work. Green, 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 all of the greens. Like so. Flip the leads. And all of the reds. All right, let's put some pin headers on. Ta-da! All right, I'm not going to show putting on pin headers. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, so let's just do it, you and I. And then we'll have the two projects to show. We already have the Arduino Mega with the code, so we won't need to code anything, which is great because I am naff at code. Although I'm getting a little bit better with code. I am getting a bit better. I started looking through some LabVIEW courses. It doesn't seem that crazy. I don't know if you were here last time when we talked about LabVIEW. I also saw that one of the local colleges does have courses so my wife likes that college's website because in under the courses it tells you what jobs you can get by doing those courses, and one of them was the job that I applied to. The only thing is it's a 2-year program. Yeah, I'm trying for, yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's a big commitment, though, I'll tell you, to do a full-time 2-year program. So, I don't know about all of that. But if I can find somewhere in Canada, like an online... Although I don't know if they can do 100% online, because there's got to be practical work, right? Don't know. But yeah, LabVIEW is not too bad. I wish I could do YouTube videos on LabVIEW, but you can't. And the reason why you can't is because LabVIEW is paid software. Like, maybe I can churn a couple of free accounts. Because you can mess with it for some time for free, but very little time. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it'll be like, I don't think I'll be able to use it long enough for free to be able to make a video on it like confidently, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like super complicated, but it's not like easy either. How's it going, Franco? Franco, you're number 1. Yeah, hit like, folks. So yeah, I would like to do coursework. I don't really have the spare time, but if I can replace the time that used to be dedicated to the college with learning new things, like taking a course. Like, the thing is, like, can I take like Udemy? Like, it won't really give me any qualifications. And I know around here in Ottawa, since everybody's a government worker but me, everyone sends their kids to some form of higher education. It's like, if you want a college-educated or university-educated applicant, you've got 100 to choose from. So if that's specifically what your business is looking for, they can get it. So I don't know if just learning through like an alternative method like Udemy or some sort of course type website would actually help. Don't know. Don't know. My YouTube channel is kind of a resume, but it's not a very good one. All right, so let's get some long wires that I can use to demo these boards. Let's actually confirm that they work on the Arduino Mega. Like so. I need male to female. These are male to female. There we go. Anyways, I think I would like to work in the electronic space. I think that's what I'm trying to say here. Job market is tough. Lots of people with good qualifications. Doesn't mean I can't get a job. Just means it might be extremely difficult. You know? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Still gonna have a couple of canted LEDs, but that one works. And I have no doubt. Oh, nice. When you unplug it, it goes all nuts. And I have no doubt that this one will work. Oh. May or may not have shorted it. Unplug, replug. There we go. That works too. Oh, something didn't work there. This one's not working. Again? I feel like we fixed this last time. Oh, what happened? It's plugged in. Well, I'm breaking everything. Keeps shutting off. Okay, we're gonna have to put this one on the operating table. Okay, let's move our hero one. I mean, safe is relative. I felt pretty confident. Or do you mean so I don't lose my progress on the video making? Because that is a factor as well. Oh yeah. Yeah, so another two-ish hours and stream will be finishado, dunzo. Ooh, that's a hot rework station. All right, no magnification. We are going YOLO. It is 9:12 at the moment. No, usually it's 4 hours long. Today it's 3 hours long. That's okay. Everyone knows I'm the one with the math problem here, which is hilarious because I teach math now. Okay. Mm-hmm. Possible the constant cycling of heating and cooling is not helping. I think maybe the LED is just... Oh, I knocked another LED off. So much drama here. Let's see. I don't know if I can hold it yet. Grab it with the tweezers. Those LEDs look a little toasty, not gonna lie. Look like they got hot. How's it going, PFP? Okay, I'm gonna stop messing with it, let it cool a bit, see if we solved our problemo. And if not, well, I don't know. We cry? Can I have a group cry? Hold it up to the camera in a moment here. It doesn't look perfect. It's not horrible. It should work. A little bit hot. Then again, so are my viewers. You guys are hot. All right, like this. Let's put 5 volts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 volts to the VCC. And ground to the ground. And then the USB in the connector. It is in the connector. No, still not working. Okay. We will carefully and gingerly replace that blue LED. How's it going, eye test things? Which one was it? I don't remember now. I just took it all apart. I think it was number 4. Is it number 3? Three or 4? Should we do both? Since none of us have memory here. Number 2? Oh no. Now I'm gonna have to check again. You saw it as 3? You know what? I'll just double check. Not a problem. Power and ground. Third one, number 3. Third one. Gone forever. The largest super chat donation done today gets to buy this for 1 cent plus shipping. The dead LED. Or maybe I should just make it an auction. I'm gonna set it aside where I can find it. You'll have to pay shipping though. I'll throw it in an envelope. I have an SMD kit. I can recommend you to improve your. I have SMD kits. I literally build SMD kits. I designed this. I am making SMD kits right now. And the reason why it doesn't work is because we've done multiple methods on the same board and got the LEDs angry at us. I'm literally putting together an SMD kit as we speak. It just happens to be my kit. See? Oh. Micro output tester. And Shanna, that's not bad. All right. Should we get a little bit more flux on here? Are you a YouTuber? I test things. If so, are you an electronics YouTuber? Or a maker in general? If so, I'm going to check your stuff out. Oh yeah, I know. I'm well aware that you're coming in at the end of a massive saga here. I'm well aware that I massacred these LEDs. Oh no. The thing is, this is a... You will do what in the future? Make YouTube videos? No time like the present. This is a B board to go with my A board. Stick, damn you. Ouch. So essentially, I have a hero board, and this is the tester. Yep, it's my normal soldering iron. I usually actually have the chisel tip on. I'm usually a chisel tip aficionado, but this is a bit big for that. Drop the temp quite a bit. See if that got it. I think it looks good. Let me see. I also have a hot plate. Used it all of last stream. Today is just different things. Different things. Because I made two boards. Look, this is the other board. These are two boards. Pop her on here. 1, 2, pop. Pop it outside. Pop it outside. Pop it outside. Okay, gonna shield this from the light. All works. We are good. Uh-oh, did I see another one fail? Oh, the last one. Bastard. Oh, I didn't order a stencil, so I didn't do paste. You bastard. I think it's another NAF LED. I mean, I like through hole. I don't like SMD. What do I like the most? Just making stuff and putting it on the internet. Okay, it's pretty clear. The LED's dead. Gone. All right. So I have 2 LEDs available for sale now. You pay shipping. Get your commemorative LEDs. Get some flux. Doing point-to-point wiring and repairs. The point-to-point is, I have, I do like the concept, but we've moved past point-to-point. You know what I mean? Point-to-point is for large things. Blue. Electric blue. That's the color of my room. There we go. Too much manipulation. Like, what are they trying to convince you to do? Like, do they speak at you in the dark? All right. Let's try this again. This hot. Oh, it's hot. All right, contact. They all work. Done. Oh, Franco knows all this. Franco is from the old school. all done. Okay, now just need to give it a good clean. Oh, I'm gonna unplug the Arduino, like Arduino. Going to give her a little. That's gonna trigger people with the Windex instead of the alcohol. But you guys get to know the real truth. I'm running low on alcohol, and I use alcohol in 3D printing quite a bit. So that's the truth. So at some point I'll have to buy some. Ha! I knew someone was going to chime in the chat. I got news for you. You don't need to use IPA. You can use a window cleaner, which is alcohol based. Much cheaper, but yes, I do have IPA. It's just look how little I have left. I have just the bottom of my bottle. There. Very little IPA left. How much does that cost? Because here in Canada, I'm pretty sure that would be pretty expensive. Arduino, yeah. I don't really know how to pronounce it, to be honest. Probably with an Italian flair. There we go. Nice and clean. Okay, so let's move these things aside. I think we have the right lens for this. Arduino. The EU is pretty big. Excuse me. We're in the EU. Because I guarantee you, I'll probably be able to find a 10-liter jug. But it's going to be expensive. You're a Arduino kind of guy? Arduino. Yeah, I guess I do the Weeno as well. Weeno. Oh, boy. Getting old. Not as sure-footed as I used to be. Civilized part of the EU. That depending on where you're from, that could be anywhere. I bet you everyone who lives in the EU thinks they live in the civilized part. Because I guess technically I live in the civilized part of Canada, everywhere but Alberta, essentially. Alberta is our Texas. Hey, Arduino's removed a lot of electronic skill. Disagree. I have a strong disagree, Franco. If it wasn't for the accessibility of things like Arduino, there would be far fewer people doing hobby electronics, and hobby electronics parts, or electronics parts in general, would be much more expensive because they wouldn't be carried in such large quantities by all sorts of resellers. So I will just have to disagree with your take there. I understand your take, I just disagree with it. How's it going, GNR Hernandez? GNR like Guns N' Roses? All right, let's get the turn off my camera? Why would I have done that? Okay. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. That's good, that's good. Can move that out of the way. Which one? Okay, this one is the one we made. You're a woman? Good. Good for you. That means you're one of like my 0.5% or something like that. Actually, no, it goes up to like 7%. But I do have pretty much the whole spectrum of people watching my content, which is great. All right, so here's the finished product. I have added 2 pin headers here heading north and the 15 pin headers here heading south. And for demonstration, I've got this Arduino Mega running simple code that just flips the pins to high and then low sequentially, one at a time. So you just connect to your, this one is 5 volts. You can connect to 3.3 if you'd like, but you do need to connect these power pins. You've got test pads here that you can go out to another board if you'd like. And this can work on any voltage. Now, don't forget, we have tuned it for 3.3 volts, so it'll be slightly brighter up here at 5 volts, but hey, it should work anyways. So let's take a look. They'll come on, and there we go. They go sequentially through the pile. So you can see all of those pins are functioning. Now the reds are a little bright, so if you want to tune your resistors a little bit more, like I wouldn't blame you for, instead of putting 1K on them, maybe put 1.5K, but it's the 1Ks and the 5Ks that I have a ton of, so that's what I chose to do, because you do need 15 resistors per board, and with PCBWay you get like 10 boards for the same price. I also have another demo because I have other LEDs, so you can use whatever colors you would like for high and low. So here we go. This one is yellow and blue, but let your imagination soar. So yeah, if you want a couple of these to test your microcontroller boards and make sure that they're outputting the correct, all the pins are outputting, which means it is soldered on properly, go down to the description below and pick up a set of these, and then you're supporting the channel because you'll be ordering them through PCBWay. Thanks for watching. For some reason, it shuts off the output. It's not enough current. But there we go. So that's done. Gonna get maybe some more B-roll. There we go. Oh, it shut off again. Finally done my video. All right. No, not 0.001% on my channel. It hovers around the 5% mark. Quite a bit. You guys, you're saying that it's too bright, but you're not seeing it the way I see it. I'm filming through another camera here. So I think it's plenty good to display, because I'm looking at the live view on the DSLR here. You guys, essentially the goal of these live streams is that you get to hang out over my shoulder while I make videos. So that's why you guys aren't always centered in the frame. That's why could be a little bright for you guys. Right now I'm looking for the case for my microphones. And I'm not, oh, there it is. No, it's not complicated. I'm live streaming on this camera, and I'm recording on this camera. And in fact, when I cared more, when I didn't have an absolute disaster over here, I also had the microscope with the line in, but I'm probably going to end up buying a trinocular microscope. It's not that complicated. It's that I don't want to have to focus on getting you guys in shot to make to make the shots. So that is why this is how it works. I'm gonna charge my microphones a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna check the voltage of my lav mic. Let me just restart. My setup is a little complicated because I do have like a lav mic with a DIY battery pack instead of using AA's that didn't last very long. So I have a lav mic for that, and I have a lav mic for the shooting camera. So that is a little bit complicated, but it's not unmanageable. This guy. I actually like these little boards, you know? They're pretty cool. It's a shame I got these LEDs so freaking hot, but it is what it is. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. Do you guys remember, did I ever finish filming the video on these guys? Because today I feel like is going to be my editing day. Because I think we filmed I think we have 4 videos in the pipeline. Well, I have been doing this for nearly 10 years. I think I started YouTubing in 2016. So it is something that comes with time. Like, just so you're aware, this is not my main channel, by the way. Main channel is youtube.com/simpleelectronics. Zoom you out a little bit into the chaos. So it's stuff you accumulate over time. 4.1 volts. We've got plenty of juice. So, yeah, things are expensive, but I mean, a lot of stuff gets sent over. Like, I got all the Unity stuff. That was sent by them. I need to figure out a better way to film them, though. I don't know if I can communicate with them via Node-RED or something. Oh, yeah, you did. Idiot. I should have seen it. So, I mean, stuff is, a viewer sent me this. So this is a AKG lav mic setup, but the viewer bought a podium from a university. They wanted the podium. They didn't want the lav mic. Asked me if I could use it. I said, yes. And so now I'm wireless. I can walk around my workshop while I'm live streaming. So that goes in through a mixer, but that mixer is on the same, it's the same mixer I use for my podcast. So like everything is like redundant. There's like extra things here and there. I should take a photo of this, But also, I need to go to the washroom and I need another coffee. So, yeah. Also, don't forget, I test things. YouTube brings in money. Now, it's not a lot. It definitely affects my yearly income, for sure. But that means I have to pay income tax on the stuff that on the money I make, right? And so when you buy equipment, you don't pay income tax on the income you spent on the gear you need to make your YouTube. So in a certain sense, first of all, it's my hobby. So I buy this, I buy stuff because it's my hobby. But on the other hand, if I don't spend it on my hobby and on my business, then I have to pay taxes on it. So you always lose money by buying stuff for your business compared to just paying taxes on it. But then I get the stuff to make better videos for my business. You know what I mean? It becomes complicated when you start doing stuff for work. But yes, everyone go get your tea, go get your coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah, I could do that, or I can just make another. I can just solder another one. And be right back. Good day. All right, what did I miss? Should have more people on the stream channel. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Back with tea. What did I miss? All the fun of the fair. JBC clone for soldering iron. So I have a fake, I have a Heiko 858D as my clone, as a, oh, that's really cool, as my soldering iron. I would like to upgrade my soldering iron, but I would really like to have a soldering iron hot air rework station all in one, instead of having separate. Yeah, this is so mine is it's called the Sigma. See how worn it is, because I've been using it like crazy. Sigma S907D is like the handle, but it's basically the module is called the Sigma 60D, but basically it's an 858D, which I got for inexpensive on Amazon a long time ago. It was basically the same price as buying an 858D clone on AliExpress, except it was local Amazon. Working at the Honda dealership back then. Also pretty funny, I used to be able to solder extremely well at work, but at home I couldn't. I couldn't figure out how come it was so much harder to solder at home. It's because I was using lead-free solder at home and leaded solder at work. The all-in-ones are bad. Disagree. You can't say all of the all-in-ones are bad. I'm sure some are not great, but I mean, I think for the most part, you buy quality and you get quality. That's how that works. And the other issue is that I have so many outlets being used up here that I need to start combining devices. Like, I have way too many power bars. I want to start pruning them down a little bit. So I was looking at a couple of the all-in-ones on AliExpress, and some of them look pretty promising. They have, and I also want like a T12 style soldering iron, because these with the replaceable tips, it's perfectly fine, except they're not very accurate. All the ones you've seen on AliExpress, well, I will, I'm sorry they don't meet your stringent criteria, but I feel like I'm just going to have to buy them and test them. That's kind of what I do here, right? Buy equipment, test it, and if it's good, I tell people about it. If it's bad, I tell people about it. That's kind of the job. Yeah, no, I mean, use lead-free, all I've ever used. Yeah, you can get good solder joints with lead-free. It's just that it takes more skill. And probably at this point, I've probably soldered hundreds of thousands of joints by now. It'd probably be good to switch to lead-free, but I just don't want the extra cognitive load. Like, you see how much messing around I did here, just almost by purpose. Okay, let's line this up kind of with the grid. Like so. Are my lights at full power? They are not at full power. Interesting. Yeah, lead-free in moving applications, vibrations, harshness. Definitely not as good as leaded. Leaded is way more flexible. But, oh, made a mess. But for hobby electronics, I mean, come on. For hobby electronics, I think we're fine in either. But for like automotive repairs, I would never use lead-free. Here we go. Clean up my mess. Let's try to get the mug out of shot. Probably gonna crank the lighting up so that the macro lens picks up easier. Yeah, I always make a mess. It is what it is. All right, what do we got? Oh, we got an SD card in there. That's a good start. Let's see what it looks like here. So right off the bat, we're going to be trying a couple angles here. Some stuff in the way. Is lead-free really that bad, or just a self... No, it's not bad. It's just, it's more difficult to get a good solder joint. That's all. And also, it's less flexible. So in harsh vibration situations, more prone to dry cracks. And hi, Philip. Philip, do you speak French? Because you spelled your name the French way. MG Chemical. Oh, like this guy? This is my leaded solder from MG Chemical. Yeah, my workspace is a disaster. I'm very well aware of that. French Canadian. Wait. Philip didn't say it was French Canadian. Anyways, if you're French, bienvenue. Did I surprise you guys? I speak French. Sorry about the extra brightness there, but well, the thing is, I have a global audience. I test things, so it can be from anywhere. But yeah, I speak fluent French, as does my wife, which often surprises people too. Front, good soldering lead. You got 60/40. Ishikawa. I typically, so when I started my YouTube channel, it was this stuff. Kinda made in China, 0.8 millimeter. This stuff is pretty good. Then I got some thinner stuff. Koku. This stuff, 0.3 millimeter. This one is crap. Not enough flux inside the flux core wire. But I had or I still have, an Amazon wish list, and one of my, he was a Patreon supporter at the time. He wanted to say Merry Christmas, so he sent me a whole bunch of stuff. I have an unboxing on the channel, and this was on my wish list, and I've had this for a couple of years now, and I'll tell you, it still feels heavy as hell. But this stuff is good stuff. I was able to solder really well with this stuff too, so I wouldn't mind getting another roll of this, but there's no need. This stuff is really good. And really, for the amount that I solder, like, I think this roll was like 20-some bucks, and like, I solder so much, and it's still like, it's got some gravity. It's probably, I don't think I have a scale here at quick disposition, but this is probably still has 300 grams left in it. Don't even know how much was supposed to be in there. That's 450 grams, and I'm probably not even a quarter done. What type of lead-free was I using? I don't remember. I threw it out a long time ago. Actually, it might still be in my bin. Let me see. Soldering bin. Soldering. Right here. So, got more of this crap, which I hate. Not enough flux. See, I ordered a bunch. Oh wow, how many? Did I order 4 of these spools for real? Idiot. That's probably a good deal. I don't have the lead free. Look at this board. Ooh la la. Have spare heaters for my soldering iron, because I hate having a project to do and then your soldering iron conks out. I have a TS100. So yeah, I don't have this stuff. I almost feel like giving it away. It's junk. But the problem is, I don't want to put anybody else through the misery. Oh, friggin' burped. Okay, so I guess there is only about an hour left of stream. Why pronounce it solder? Because that's how we pronounce it, North America. So we've got this project, which would be nice to put together. There's my customer number or something in there. I don't know. 1 out of 2. Would be nice to put this together. This is going to be a lot of work, though. Let's check the amount of work we need to do. It's not written solder. It's just pronounced solder. It's like there's a British pronunciation of a jaguar. Right? They say jaguar, but we say jaguar. Same thing. So we've got some resistors to put down here. We've got a pot. We've got a whole bunch of LEDs, some push buttons. This is going to be quite a bit of work to put together. I don't remember what the resistor values were. These took so long to come down. How's it going, JB? But this is going to be a big project, and I also have to do the 3D printing of the shell. I have to do the programming of the Arduino, or the RP2040. Also, let's see how many boards we got, because I ordered 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I got 11. They often, when I order from PCBWay, they often make a couple extras and they send me more, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this was a big project to lay out on the board. I don't know if you can see, probably not, but the traces are wild. To get all the traces to line up and go to all the LEDs, and every LED, every color of LED is run by a channel on the RP2040. And the goal is this is going to be sitting like on top of a racetrack for Lego cars. And it's going to be fully programmable, so you can cycle through the starting the race, the cautions, all those things. So it's going to be a big undertaking. So at some point, I need to start the CAD modeling of this stuff. I could start today. Don't really feel like jumping into a big project like this today, though. So there's that. Oh my God, coffee. Nectar of the gods. Let's check my emails. Emails are good and clear. What else do I have kicking around my desk? I've ordered a lot less stuff recently on AliExpress, so I really don't have as much coming in. I bought these 1, 2, 3 blocks, which is nice for doing mechanical things. Iode tin, solder tin. Okay, so 10 is tin. It's the same thing in French. We would call this de l'étain. And étain is just a word for tin, even though this is tin lead, right? Yeah, 60% tin. So in French we'd say étain, when really it's a mix of lead, which is plomb, tin, which is étain, and then flux, or rosin core flux, or rosin flux, which is colophane. Yeah, lead free, yeah. SN 99.3, that's tin. 0.7 copper. Oh, you don't have any silver in it. Interesting. No silver. You haven't bought anything for months? Yeah, I still buy, but not as much. I went fishing. Well, my wife and I stayed at my parents' cottage for an overnight not too long ago, and we went on a boat ride. She gets very motion sick, so we had to keep the boat going. There was a gust of wind, took my hat away and sunk it, so I have to order new hats, but I also have to order the back caps for the Nikon things, Nikon lenses. I've got a bunch of footage, by the way, of fishing, because I am also on the edge of starting a fishing channel so I can deduct my losses. Did I just lose my LED? Uh-oh. Yeah, I knocked stuff over. Okay, sorry everyone who wanted to buy the broken LED. It's gone. I just knocked everything over and lost the broken LED. That was going to be my retirement fund. Watching language videos on Instagram learns how Swedes count. Interesting. Try to learn German. Was in Germany for 1 year. Okay, so we know you don't live in Germany. We still have to figure out what the civilized area of Europe is, of the EU. Not even Europe, the EU. What else? Got the Arduinos. Yeah, I've got a lot of editing to do. Maybe I'll just end it here. What do you guys think? You guys want to just hang out and chat while I make a thumbnail or something? I guess I can make a thumbnail. Let's see. Oops. Well, I just ripped the memory card out of a turned on camera. So let me see here. You're cool just hanging out? Yeah. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about the normies who don't come here for the same reasons. All right, let's take these. Let me just transfer files and then I'll bring you over to my PC. File Explorer, pop her in there. Example, nope, not example folder. Videos, micro tester, thumbnail, V. All right, so we got 4 thumbnails. This is your biggest social event of the day. I have pity for you. All right, so first one. Oh, I'm gonna grab my coffee. Okay. Not the strongest candidate, this one. You see how close my macro zooms in? Well, that's too much. Too much. So there we go. Oh, there is a green on the front. So there we go. Yeah, they're a little off to the side. That's okay. You've got a Predator review stream. Okay, are you... You know what? I'm not even going to ask questions. So this one, it's not centered on... Don't think that's proper. Move them to be more centered. Maybe I'll go with the single. This is the last one. You'll be in chat as a mod. But like what I'm not, like, I guess I'm not understanding, are you like pro-predator or anti-predator? You know what, I'm just, I'm not even going there. All right, so we got this. You see my little wobbly LEDs here. Well, they're not fantastically soldered, huh? Some of them. Oh well. Hit the auto. Auto did a horrible job, like usual. I'm gonna drop that a little bit. We're gonna up some contrast here. Up the shadows. Let's go down on the whites. Vibrance. Bit of saturation. Get those purples out there. Highlights down a little bit more. Maybe a little bit brighter in the exposure. You're pro-predator. I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. A little bit of clarity. I think that looks great. All right. Sucks. I chose white because I thought the LEDs would look better. Yeah, auto doesn't like it. But I like auto because it's a good starting point. All right. 16 by 9. 16 by 9. Now we're going to zoom in a little bit. It's going to feel a little off, but we're going to do it like this anyway. Are you going to crop? Yeah, there we go. People are going to be so triggered by the upside down resistors. All right, so we're going to duplicate this. Duplicate layer. We're going to hide this. We're going to use the quick select. We're going to select all this stuff. I didn't do too bad of a job. I'm going to remove this stuff. Control Shift I. Delete this stuff. There we go. Deselect. Grab this guy. Sometimes I don't know what Franco is on about. Oh shit, I did this. I did this before the crop or after the crop. Whatever. Control deselect. Yep, that's fine. All right, text, new text. Well, 117, get it up there. Center-ish. Give this poor guy a stroke. Pop this over like this. Maybe smaller font. 107. There we go. What's that look like? Oh, the movie. Yeah, ramble on. Ramble on. I'm going to get copyright stricken for my perfect rendition. I think that looks good. What do you think? Thing is, I would really, really like okay, hang on. I'm going to try something. Select. All of this. Delete. All of this. Stop. All of this. Deselect. Delete all that. Can I give this a stroke now? No. Damn it, you bastard. Okay, so I grab the crop tool. Okay, grab this guy again. Select this, Control Shift I, delete this, Control D, grab the crop tool. Like that. Now, if I give this a stroke, that's good. Drop the opacity though. Actually, I'll just, this stroke outside, much thinner. Drop the opacity a bit. Much thinner. There we go. Much more delimited. And you always have to check your work. Oh, what's going on? Cancel. Always have to check your work in small, what it looks like. Pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. Don't forget the red arrow. Yeah, I do like the arrow. Ugh. I don't think I need the red arrow in this case, though. So we've got a thumbnail made. That was quick. Not too bad at all. I like how good the LEDs came out as, though. I could shoot from even closer, but I think at that point the focus starts getting hard. Are you sad because I'm not putting a red arrow? I gotta put a tiny arrow. Hang on, let me go. I have to go look through my... where did I put my last arrow? Hold on a second. Videos. Hang on a sec. All right, so this arrow. There we go. Red arrow for everyone. Now, if this thumbnail does horribly, though, then that's all your fault, basically. Well, that was easy. Probably have another one to edit. Give me a second here. Go through my... You know what? I can just put my file browser off to the side. Whatever. Videos. No thumbnail for the Arduino haul. Let me check. What is this? Of course it's your fault. Who else could it possibly be at fault? I'm not the one who wanted it. All right, so let's take a look at these. Actually, let me save my, but anyways, whatever. We'll save after. Test light would have been better. I disagree. So we got this one. We got this one. So I need some zoom in. We need this one. Oops. Cancel this one. Will it open a new one? I think the first one was the better one. Which is rare. Usually it's not. Alright, let's do the damn thing. See, this wasn't too bad. That did a good job. Yeah, highlights stay. Some contrast. A little bit of clarity. Some vibrance. Some saturation. Let's open this. Let's see what we can do with this. I don't know if I need text on this one. Got a Jetson Orin Nano. Interesting. I mean, I think this looks good by itself. It kind of like tells the story. Oh my god, stretching. Maybe we'll put the Arduino logo up here. Let's go looking for it. Oh no, can I not choose? Can't choose to have it transparent color. Transparent. I hate the new IDE logo. It's a go. Oh no, you have to change your alarms? Yeah, I decided to buy the real Arduinos. There's a reason for it, which I'm not going to get into at this moment. Tools, size, large. Send you over there while I save this. The video. Now, there we go. Bring you back over here. Move this pupper over there. Copy it over here, paste it over here. Like so, give it a stroke. This big. Has to be bold enough. Let's try. This would be fairly obvious. I think it's too bold. See how much work goes into making YouTube videos? Usually I do this during when I listen to the podcast. Oh shit, speaking of podcasts, I do have a podcast today to record with a guest. So that's going to be fun. Maybe I want the crop to sit slightly more this way. And grab this guy. There we go. Let's try that. That looks pretty good. All right, I think that's enough for today. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna watch a little bit of YouTube to chill out a bit, and then we will meet again. So I work tomorrow and Friday. Probably Saturday morning I'll be streaming again. Although today is the 23rd. So essentially I'll be on a mad dash to get my PCB Way video done before the 25th. But anyways, probably Saturday. Same bad channel, same bad time. Thank you everyone for being here. Subscribe to the main channel. If you want to put a bid on the Lost LED, if it goes over $100, I'll look for it. How's that? Have a good one, guys. Thanks for being here. Catch you on the next one.